Hello and welcome to the Triple B podcast. We are the Buds Busting Balls. I am Matt Worsham, known as Celiac_Matt on the Twitch and all the other things. With me is Scott Stevens, who is looking into the camera. I don't need to say an insult. You guys can look at his face. That's it. We're done. I don't got to make fun of this guy. With us, we also have Bauer Tendo, Mike Bowerman, on all the things on Twitches on the Mondays and Tuesdays for sure. He is such a Nintendo fanboy that if they offered a lobotomy, he'd probably take it. There you go. That's what I think about Bauer and his Nintendo love. Today, we're talking about the Game Awards. We're going to go through every single category. We're going to talk about it, our thoughts, our feelings, what we think is going to win, and have some fun with it. So I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. It should be dropping right before the Game Awards, just in time, because we are topical like that. My friends, get ready, play the music. Let's talk about the Game Awards. All right, as I stated earlier, we were talking about the Game Awards. Here's how the format is going to work. I'm going through every single category of the Game Awards coming up. Mike and Scott don't actually really know everything that's on there, so they're going in kind of blind, and I think that'd be kind of fun. So we're going to go through it, have some fun with it, and do our usual shtick from there. So let's start at the stuff that we know literally nothing about. This is an event, all right? This is an award. You ready for it? Best esports event.
I'm out.
Right?
I'm already done with this.
All right, what are they?
All right, there is the 2023 League of Legends World Championship. There is the Blast.tv Paris Major 2023, EVO 2023, the International Dota 2 Championships 2023, and the Valorant Champions 2023. I recognize some of those words.
I know
Here's my
Evo.
question. Here's my initial concern. Is there actually people who just like for their free time watch multiple championships so they can go and compare them with each other of like
There are.
Oh yeah, this weekend is the Hello Kitty Island Paradise Championship. Let's go catch that one. I feel like it could be a dark horse this year. I have so many questions right now.
You know what cracks me up is like everyone's go-to video game meme is talking about the Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Why do we all know that? Why is that the universal video game meme that we go to? That is the well.
And why has it not won any awards? Everybody knows this game.
That one should win an award. Where's the Hello Kitty Island Adventure award category?
Right? And this is why review or award shows, bunch of crock. They don't represent the will of the people. The people want Hello Kitty Island Paradise. The people don't want Evo and Overwatch and all these esport garbage stuff. Give the people what they want, you pretentious assholes at the award committee.
What a delicious pre-rant you all got there. Any guesses on who wins this? I mean,
Evo. I would say
recognition alone, I'd say Evo. So that's our guess. The Buds are guessing Evo 2023 wins.
If you want my real pick, I want that Blast TV French one. That's what I want, because I have no idea what that is.
The French are going to take chagrin with this podcast. They will not be friends of the Buds. They don't want to be a Bud, unfortunately.
Whoever wins,
I'm voting for them. I'm going to root for them.
All right. You ready for another one that you're going to know nothing about, guys? Of course you are. Next category. This is legit. The best esports coach. The best esports coach. All right. We have too bad. Christine Potter Chi, Evil Geniuses Valorant. So I think that's the team and the game. So the Evil Geniuses for Valorant. We have Danny Zoniak Sorensen. They are Team Falcons and they play Counter-Strike. Jordan Gumba Graham for the Florida Mayhem for the Overwatch League. We have Remy XTQZZZ Kunam. Sorry if I butchered these names. Team Vitality. They play Counter-Strike as well. And then we have Yoon Hami Sung Young. They are the JD
League of Legends.
Group and they play League of Legends. I'm going to vote for that one. I'm going to vote for that one because he has Hami in there and it reminds me of Queens of the Stone Age. That's my pick.
I'm going to go for literally the only lady in this group.
Christine?
Yes. I don't even remember what Christine did.
I think she'll win. Because now that I think about it, I've actually seen some articles, and the fact that it made it into my radar, esports coaches in general, probably is a good teller that Christine Potter Chi is going to win.
I'm going to go with the Gumba guy because Gumba's a fun words to say. I like that word.
And then I'm going to throw this in. Maybe this gets me canceled. Maybe this gets us canceled. I actually think the woman will win.
Mm-hmm.
Because of let's just call them woke journalists. I hate sounding like I'm anti-woke boomer here. I'm not. I really am not. You guys know that I am super, super progressive. I'm super liberal. But
history? More like herstory.
Exactly. She's gonna win it because of that, right?
I think just the fact that I know about it is why she will win. I can't speak to the credibility of any of these answers, but if I recognize the name, then I just am going to guess that is the winner. But I mean, that is pretty cool because I think we've all thought about like esports before. Well, probably not often, but when we do, we think about stereotypical sweaty
guys.
Dude. So any form of like difference in that demographic is just always appealing to me. So
that it's a coach, right? Like it's a leadership role. I actually want her to win.
Yeah.
No, not knowing anything about this. So
she's got the triple B endorsement. If she ever hears this, she's gonna be like, these guys are idiots and I don't want it. Hey, speaking of esports, next category, the best esports team. Don't worry, Scott. They're not all esports.
How many esport questions or awards
there's I hate to say at least 4. So this one is best esports team. We have the Evil Geniuses that play Valorant. We have Fnatic that play Valorant. We have Gaimin Gladiators, spelled Gaimin. So maybe it's like Gaimin Gladiators, Dota 2. JD Gaming, League of Legends, and Team Vitality play Counter-Strike. I don't recognize any of these. But there's
Counter-Strike.
Evil Geniuses. They have the best name.
Counter-Strike is a bunch of asshole players. I'm sorry for any of our viewers that may play Counter-Strike.
And I think this was the Counter-Strike team, but their name, like the weird, stupid spelling, like that's an instant like, nope, no way.
So not the Gladiators. Then Fnatic is spelled Fnatic.
Nope.
We're down. So we have the Evil Geniuses, JD Gaming, and Team Vitality is where we're leaning towards. But Scott says no Counter-Strike. So that means Evil Geniuses of Valiant or the JD Gaming of League of Legends.
I'm going Evil Geniuses.
That's cool.
I like the name.
Evil Geniuses get the Bud endorsement. Here you go, Scott, just for you. Best esport athlete.
My brain. You're
Scott, name one esport athlete. Go.
Name one.
Pogger guy.
He's not an esport guy. He's not an esport guy. No, Pogger's actually. He actually got for making a funny face and becoming a meme on Twitch.
But what did he do? He wasn't.
He was in a weird commercial kind of deal, and they turned it into like a Twitch emote. And then they can't. And then they canceled.
He wasn't game related at all.
It was game related, but I think he also got canceled for something. He said something dumb a few years ago. The Poggers guy.
Okay, well, I don't know anybody. But you know what? I don't know any. What the?
Scott's lights keep turning off. Maybe it's the Poggers guy. He's like, you will know my name.
He's outside your window right now. Going.
I am the Pogger.
I just turned.
He's outside your window, going like this.
All right, best esport athlete. I sincerely apologize for how many of these names I'm going to butcher. Lee Faker Sang Hyuk of League of Legends. We have Matthew Ziwu Herbout, CSGO. We have Max Demon One Mazanoff of Valorant. We have Paco Hydra Rusuwais, Call of Duty. We have Parker Ruler J-Hook, League of Legends. And we have Philip the Imperial Hall Dosen, Apex Legends. I like the name Imperial Hal, not Hall. Imperial Hal. I'm going with that guy.
Yeah, same. I'm going by the name. And plus it's Apex Legends, which I don't think we've heard any of so far. So that one.
All right.
I'm going with whoever is from South Korea because they win everything.
I think there's at least one or there's probably two.
Pick number one or number two.
Oh, I lied. There's more esports. Best esports game. we have Counter-Strike 2 by Valve, Dota 2 by Valve, League of Legends by Riot Games, PUBG Mobile. What's PUBG Mobile by Lightspeed Studios and Tencent Games, and then we have Valorant of Riot Games. Out of all those, the one I would play the most is Valorant, followed by League of Legends, but I'm going to go Valorant for myself.
Hey, Matt, you know what's not on that list? Overwatch.
Yeah. Moving on.
Oh, and out the OWL the league wasn't on there either.
I think the league is done. By the way, I think they officially said we're done.
Oh,
No
really?
more. I might be wrong on that one. Anywho, last thing stuff that you won't know, Scott. Content creator of the year. And I don't recognize
the Buds busting balls.
Done. We're not even gonna know. There's Iron Mouse. People Make Games. I've heard of them. Quackity.
Quackity. Stop there, Quackity.
I swear,
Cypher
if Amaranth is on this list, I'm gonna riot.
She is not.
Good. Okay. Cool.
She is not. Given if enough people subscribe, I'll do this podcast in a bikini in a hot tub, just so you guys know. All right, we're going with Quackity just because that is a fun name. All right, now we're going to talk about video games. Most anticipated game. We have Final Fantasy VII. What is that? I don't know Roman numerals. 7 Rebirth. Okay, it's more remakes. So Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Square Enix. We have Hades 2 by Supergiant.
Done.
Stop. I know.
Stop,
well, it depends on what else is on this list. There is one other game.
Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Ooh, Mike. Ooh. Then we have Star Wars Outlaws, which does look good, and Tekken 8. For me, it's Hades 2.
Hades 2. I was so bummed to find it. Originally, I think they said they were going to do early access for Hades 2 in Q4 this year. Well, we only have 1 month left, so obviously that's not happening. Huge bummer for me, but hands down Hades 2. That is my most look forward to game next year.
It is mine.
And it's going to be mine too. I mean, Like a Dragon, honestly, is probably almost there because it's going to come out sooner than Hades 2.
Correct.
But what worries me is the whole team that worked on all of those games, the Yakuza games, is gone, and they went to Tencent.
Oh, really? It's not at all any of the same.
Some of the developers are there, but the leads, the two guys that led that, are both gone from Sega.
See, I didn't know that. It's kind of a bummer.
So so I'm kind of worried. So Hades 2.
Okay, so that's ours. Do we think it's going to win though? Do you think Hades 2 is actually going to win this category?
To be honest, I mean, I don't know what the percentages.
No, if Final Fantasy 7 is going to win. I don't want it to win, but it's going to win.
It shouldn't, but it will. I feel like maybe the first part of the Final Fantasy remake maybe left a bad enough taste in everybody's mouth to maybe have Hades 2 pull it off, but yeah.
Okay. Well, Hades 2 is the Buds endorsement. That is our personal one, but we do think Final Fantasy is going to take it. That being said, Star Wars Outlaws actually looks pretty cool. If you haven't checked out any gameplay or the video of that, looks pretty rad. All right. It's a sponsorship. Best multiplayer presented by Discord. So best multiplayer game. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Those are the best.
I'm confused about the question. What am I being asked?
Best
game or best the best game that has been on Discord?
No, it's a sponsorship. It's a sponsorship. Okay. Is what I'm guessing.
So Discord has nothing to do with
it. Best multiplayer. So Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Now, out of all these, the only one I've played is Diablo, and I think that would be fun. However, if I wanted to just have fun playing a game with my friends, I'm going to go with Party Animals. I haven't played the game. My Discord will not stop bothering me. There's a ticker, day 19 of asking Matt to play Party Animals. It keeps going on. They keep doing this in my Discord. That's a shout out to Wing and Tyrant there. Party Animals looks insanely fun, incredibly fun. And if you guys haven't looked at anything in Party Animals, look it up and you're going to be like,
I have.
This looks great.
I was going to play it because it was on Game Pass, but not on PC. And that's how I would want to play it because of streaming purposes. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So what is your personal favorite? Given we haven't played any of these multiplayer.
Well, who do we think's going to win? I think Street Fighter 6 is going to win.
I think so.
I think just because Baldur's Gates exist, it's going to win a lot of things, but
I don't know about this.
I don't hear about that being a big multiplayer game though.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think it's going to be between Party Animals and Street Fighter 6. Personally, I actually think Party Animals is going to take this one. That's my guess. Hey. I think Party Animals takes this one. You guys are saying Street Fighter 6?
Yes, I think that's what's going to win.
Yeah.
I got super hot take here.
Do it.
I love the multiplayer in Mario Brothers Wonder.
Looks
I'm
cool.
not even talking about the local multiplayer. Local multiplayer is fine. The online, I thoroughly enjoyed helping other people get through levels and then having other people help me through levels at certain points. It's wonderful.
Oh, boo. I do like that feature. I think that's really cool. And also for those that are might hesitant to like do any online play, like some of my in-laws, it's a good introduction to like not all of it's bad, kids.
It's accessible. It's very
I
accessible.
I do like what they did with Wonder, but it sounds like Street Fighter 6 we think is going to take it. I'm leaning towards Party Animals. But all right, good. See, that was a fun discussion because now we actually understand. We know
Yes.
some of these things.
I would probably go with Diablo 4, I'm assuming, because that's the only
I
one
mean,
you
that's the
played.
only one I played. To be honest,
Right.
though, I don't think it's that great of a multiplayer game.
I don't
I
think it
mean,
is.
there's a lot about it
I've
I
played with my
like.
wife.
It's not a game where I have the urge to play multiplayer with other people, and I just like let me play by myself and butcher a bunch of demons. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's talk about one that is going to be more for Mike to chime in because Scott and I will have nothing to add here. Best sports slash racing game. So there is one called EA Sports FC 24.
Soccer,
Okay. We have F1 23. That is racing,
racing.
Formula One. Forza Motorsport. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. And the Crew Motorfest.
Forza.
I have okay.
And
I have
wait, where's AEW Fight Forever? Come on, guys.
Where is
How does that not make the list?
where is Hello Kitty Island Adventure?
That's
yeah.
a sports game.
I wonder if they have other sport. No, I think they literally tried to bucket sports with racing, but every option is just racing. Maybe we'll sneak up
Well,
on a
there's
sports game.
soccer's in there. Soccer's in there. FC.
Oh, that's true.
Football.
Yeah, Madden's not on there.
Sorry, football.
Neither is
not
MLB The Show.
football.
Footy. All right. So, Mike, your favorite here is Forza, but do you also
Forza.
think they're going to win it?
No, it'll be
Who do you think?
something else. I don't know. It'll probably be FC because football
EA Sports
is super
football.
big,
Yeah.
or something like the Crew because that was like I think that was like a non-Xbox game. So you know,
Gotcha.
console tribalism is crazy out there. So
Okay.
I think it'll be
So,
one of those, but I think Forza deserves it.
You think Forza deserves it, but you think EA Sports FC takes it.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, nice. Best sim strategy game. We have Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which Mike and I have played. Cities Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. So the only one I've played out of this is Advance Wars, which it's fun. I enjoy it. I don't think it's going to win at all in this category. Not at all. What do you guys think? Who do you think wins? Oh, sorry, let me ask you, which one do you think is the best if you've played any of them? I've only played Advance Wars.
Scott,
I played none of them. If I had to say one, Advance Wars, because that's like the only one of all of them that I have any interest in. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to be either of the Nintendo ones. My answer will be anything.
There's 3
not
Nintendo ones. You think all 3 of those are not going to be it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I have played all 3 of those games. I know what City Skylines is. I've heard good things about Company of Heroes 3. I have not played it. I think it's down to Company of Heroes 3 or Pikmin 4. And my pick is gonna be Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 was damn good. Even you guys, I think you would find enjoyment in them. Not even playing the other games, because it's so different from the other games. You'd go in and go, wow, this was really fun. And actually collecting everything and 100%ing the game is very doable and very fun.
Well, you heard it. He picked that one, man.
Boo. I actually think City Skylines is going to take it. This one has been popping up on a lot of my wife's YouTube feed. So she's watched a lot of videos and like Twitch streams of it. And I'm like, that looks kind of neat.
It is popular. It is very popular.
I think Skylines 2 takes Best Sim Strategy Game. Next is Best Family Game. We have Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So Party Animals is very good. But if the subject is family game, I know that Disney Illusion Island is blowing up. Like it is very, very popular. I think it's free to play as well, which is one reason a lot of people are playing it. I think Mario Bros. Wonder will win best family game. What do
I
you guys
think
think?
I think it's going to win.
I think anything Mario is in probably will like win. It's like
Except for Game of the Year. It's not going to win Game of the Year.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get win, but it's like Final Fantasy. If he's in there, he has a pretty big, pretty good shot of pulling it off to win.
Okay, so we're leaning towards Mario Wonder on that one. Next is best fighting game. So we have God of Rock. Haven't heard of that. Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
That one. The song. We got it.
You couldn't even commit to the bit. You had to laugh.
Dude, Squidward is a playable character in this one, guys. That's huge. It has Vlad Plasmius from Danny Phantom. Holy shit. Get out of here, Super Smash Brothers.
Does it have Squidward or Sexy Squidward?
Oh, it has multiple Squidwards.
Are you making that up or is that true?
I don't know if it has Sexy Squidward. I mean, it's better.
Okay.
It's better. There's also a game called Pocket Bravery and, of course, Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6.
Taking it. Mortal Kombat 1 did look kind of neat, but I've always preferred Street Fighter to
and
Mortal Kombat.
I think that was the more popular one too. So I think that'll be it.
All right, this one I'm really looking forward to talking about because I don't agree some of the games fall in this category. The category is best RPG.
It's all a farce anyway.
Yeah. What I think is going to win is this first one here, Baldur's Gate 3. That is like definitive role-playing game. I don't even tell you the rest of the games. I think Baldur's Gate 3 wins best RPG.
I think
but here are the other options. There's Starfield, which honestly is that's not going to win. Sea of Stars, I haven't played it yet. I'm sure it's good. I don't think it beats Baldur's Gate. And then these two, I kind of debate. One is Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy historically is an RPG, but the gameplay of this game is a hack and slash. It's an action adventure, in my opinion. I don't really think it deserves to be considered here on the RPG, but it's on the list.
But I guess consider it this way. There are SRPGs. There are ARPGs, which is what Final Fantasy 16 is. There are TRPGs. There are, I guess, whatever you'd call turn-based RPGs. So it's still, and then there's like Western. Well, back in the day, it was Western and Japanese, JRPGs. So there's a whole bunch of different subgenres in there. So
I have a feeling that they just didn't want to have to go and explain to everybody that why a Final Fantasy game isn't an RPG. It's like it's Final Fantasy RPG. Just throw it on there. Just is it really one? No, we're not going to go and have people like, whoa, why didn't Final Fantasy get on there? So,
but the whole thing about the role playing is that you get to role play and create. It's almost like you get to create your character, and
which you don't do
in Final Fantasy 16. It is very like this is your. It's telling a very direct story.
Customization? Is there customization? Is there like skills you can pick? Is there
the
accessories, equipment? Like, is there anything that you can do?
There's equipment and abilities, but you don't get to choose like what stats get kind of leveled up for the most part. You just essentially level up your abilities. Like the powers that you want, you can pick which abilities to use, kind of have your quick toggle, and then you can choose your equipment, like this ring versus that ring. So it does have that element. But there's not like hey, you leveled up. Where do you want to spend your points? You leveled up. We gave you points automatically into your HP and attack and defense and things like that.
So I'm just going to throw this out there. One of those games that you just mentioned for this category, you have the ability to customize your penis. You can have the ability to dress up as a clown while having sex.
Or have sex with a bear.
Saying, you could have sex with a bear.
A literal bear. Not like, oh, it's a guy that's a bear. No, like a bear.
You can go and invest in a skill tree that lets you at random transform into like animals during very serious cutscenes. So they're like, no, she's dying, and you're just chilling on the background as a llama. I'm just saying RPG that feels very RPG-ish.
Yeah, that is Baldur's Gate we're talking about.
It's gonna win. It's gonna win.
There's one more game I haven't mentioned yet.
That was Starfield. That was Starfield, guys. Come
on. There's one more game I haven't mentioned yet. Mike, do you consider this an RPG? Lies of P.
What?
Yep.
What?
No, that's an action game, bro. Like
I saved that one for last.
There are some aspects where you can kind of have some customization. That's a pure action game. What
Yeah.
the? Like, I know the whole thing is like, no, Dark Souls is an RPG, right? And I get
Means
that.
you
I get
level
the
up.
argument for that, but they're action games with RPG elements.
Well, this is housed in best RPG. So out of the list,
I don't
I
care.
think
I'm voting for that.
yeah, Mike wants Lies of P. We think Baldur's Gate wins. Out of the ones that I've enjoyed the most, like I really enjoyed Final Fantasy and Lies of P. I'm still in the middle of playing. It's really hard. Um, as an RPG though, Baldur's Gate 3 is I think gonna take it, no question. But that was fun to talk about how Lies of P and how it's apparently an RPG. All right, best action adventure game: Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, wow. I almost said Jar Wars. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Jar Wars.
Jar Wars. I want the Jar Wars. And we also have Legend of Zelda. So Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is a sequel, Legend of Zelda. All these are sequels.
And what was
This is
this
pretty
for?
stacked. This is stacked.
Best action adventure game.
I'm gonna go.
So I haven't played Resident Evil 4, obviously, as we discussed in the previous episode. I think I'm gonna go Resident Evil 4 to have all of that. The thing with Spider-Man 2 is when it has action going on, it's like, but it has some really slow parts. Like, I'm sorry, Matt, cover reviewers, you don't want to hear this spoiler. There's a mission where you go into a music museum to help foil some criminals who are trying to steal the musical heritage of Harlem. It is as riveting and as interesting as it sounds. So, like, if Spider-Man kept the momentum of the good parts throughout the entire game, maybe Spider-Man 2. But I think out of all of that, it's probably Resident Evil 4 in my opinion.
So believe it or not, if this is the action adventure category, I would say Resident Evil 4 over Tears of the Kingdom. Believe it or not.
Interesting. I was expecting.
I still like that game better overall.
Yeah.
But pure action adventure, it's RE4 all the way, baby. That remake, they did such a good job with it.
Yeah, no matter what, it's between RE4 and Tears of the Kingdom in this category for me. Like, it can't be. Like, Alan Wake look cool. Spider-Man 2 look, fun. And I'll get to it. But RE4 and Zelda for action adventure. I mean, the adventure Zelda, the action and actual core gameplay, Resident Evil. So if we're talking gameplay, it's got to be Resident Evil. So that's where I'm leaning towards is Resident Evil 4.
Super random, but I am a little bit confused that like Liza P made into the RPG list,
but not action adventure.
Zelda. But well, you would think. I feel like Zelda lives closer to the RPG realm. Like I wouldn't say it's
I
an
would
RPG,
swap those.
It lives closer to RPG land than Liza P does.
Yeah,
I think Zelda lives closer to RPG world than action adventure world as well. So Zelda being in this list really feels like a red herring. Like that's kind of weird.
And I think they divided it to purposely not stack categories as much and give some other games room to breathe. I'm thinking that's their logic, but it's flawed. All right, best action game, not action adventure. Best action game. You have the newest Armored Core game, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
I have my want and what I think are different on this one.
Right. So Hi-Fi Rush looked really fun. I haven't played it.
That's what
like a lot of fun.
That's what I want to win.
Looks
it
very
is
unique,
so good,
stylish. Yeah.
Yes, it is. The music. In fact, some of the music from that game, the licensed music, I actually added to my Spotify list for like when I go exercise. So
that's cool.
It's really good.
Armored Core, I saw some stuff, but I just don't think that should win Best Action Game. I did see a lot of Dead Island 2, though, which looked really fun.
Armored Core is going to win, though, because it's from Soft.
You think Armored Core is going to win?
It's from Software. Yes.
I feel Hi-Fi Rush can take this one.
Man,
I hope I'm wrong.
Microsoft is poison at award shows because they weren't willing to fork over all that bribe money.
Doritos money.
All right, so you guys think Armored Core takes it? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I think Armored Core takes it. I want Hi-Fi Rush to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think Hi-Fi Rush takes it. Maybe I'll be wrong on that one. All right, best VR or AR game. So
next,
well, too bad. I'm gonna say it. Got to talk about it. There's Gran Turismo 7, Humanity, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. I
I'm
know
gonna vote for
nothing.
Resident Evil Village
I'm just
because I
gonna
like
go
that
for
game.
Resident Evil 2.
I feel Resident Evil is probably going to be the most fun because it's taking an existing first person shooter and just giving it VR. Given I know very little about all the other games, the world of Horizon sounds kind of fun to do in VR, but I think
It's still
Resident Evil takes
Horizon.
this one. It's still Horizon. All right. Best mobile game. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Honkai Star Rail. Oh no, I'm going to save this one for last. Monster Hunter Now, Terra Nil. I know nothing about these as mobile games, but here's the one that the buds are going to pick, and you guys are going to say absolutely, Matt. You ready for best mobile game? Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yep,
Yes!
100%. Okay. Full disclaimer for you guys watching, listening. I don't think Matt did either. Scott and I did not know that was even a thing. I did not even realize that's a game. I might actually go look up this game just to look it up. It wins. That wins that category.
I legit did not know that was on this list. Like I looked at this list like a month ago and completely forgot about it. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is literally up for nomination of best mobile game. I don't give a crap about anything else. The buds are here for the Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That is our pick. Bank on it. I am so happy right now. All right, best debut indie game. Cocoon. Oh, I'm going to say this one for last. Pizza Tower.
Okay.
Vinba. Viewfinder, which I've heard very good things about. And Scott, here it is. Dredge.
Yes.
I'll vote. So I've played
You know
Cocoon.
what I'm
It
going
is
with.
really neat. It is really neat. What's there? I've watched my son play Pizza Tower for hours, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it to Dredge just because of Scott's recommendation, and it looks cool.
I agree. I've seen a decent amount of Dredge. Dredge gets my vote there. Look at that, Scott. You got Hello Kitty Island Adventure and Dredge. Ooh,
Dude, like
You're
this
living the
almost
life.
almost redeems all this esport garbage we went through.
All right, here's another one. Best independent game. Cocoon. Sea of Stars. Viewfinder. Dave the Diver. Dredge. Again.
Give it
Dredge
Dredge
is up
again.
again.
So
Scott go Dredge.
yeah, Dredge. I would say Sea of Stars because because
Okay.
I haven't played Dredge, but Sea of Stars is really good. The music in that game is so good.
Yeah, it is, and it is an independent game, independent studio. I think it was a Kickstarter or some form of like crowdsourcing to get that game made, which it's always cool. I have not played any of these. I've seen gameplay of Dave the Diver, which looks really fun. I've seen gameplay of Dredge, which looks really fun. Same with Sea of Stars, which I own and will play on stream eventually. Viewfinder, I haven't seen other than I've heard very good things about it. Scott's definitely going to vote Dredge. What was your vote? You said Sea of Stars?
I said Sea of
Mike?
Stars. Yeah.
Yeah. I think best debut indie game, Dredge has to win. For best independent game, Dredge, I think, has more competition. So I'm going to go with Sea of Stars on that one. Let's see who is right after the Game Awards. All right, best community support. I don't really know what that means, but we're talking about best community support. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy XIV, which is 16. I don't know, dude. Whatever XIV is. No Man's Sky.
So
Okay.
basically, I interpret this as another way of asking is what is a really shitty game that people didn't give up on and then they eventually made it not shitty?
Made it good.
So
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna say No Man's Sky because
Same.
I think that when that game launched, I think that was more Sony pushing them to get it done. I don't know if it was them being blatantly lying. I think there was a lot of behind the stuff. I would like to see a documentary on that later on down the road. I have a personal vendetta against Cyberpunk 2077. So I just immediately you said that, and I know everybody loves Liberty City or whatever, the DLC, but it's its own thing. I am like so vehemently against that. I'm like, did we all forget how awful that launch was and how much of a schmuck they made us all look like? Like, it was awful. It was so bad. At least No Man's Sky was like kind of like what it was supposed to be. Cyberpunk was a giant garbage fire mess, and they tried to hide it. So I don't know. I have a way of thinking of that.
I am actually very happy for this question though, because there's a certain game that everybody talks about, and my biggest beef with it kind of ties into this, and that is Baldur's Gate 3. Everybody's dropping their panties for this game. You know how long this game was in early access? Like 4 fucking years. Anything can go and become great in 4 years. I don't understand like why this isn't considered 2019's game of the year. It's like that is such a fucking cop-out cheating tactic that you get to be in early access for 4 years and basically after all 4 years of feedback and updating. Oh, now you can really review us. Now it's the real thing. Now judge us. And it just annoys the shit out of me. So I guess
I
long
agree
story
with
short,
that.
my tangent, I guess best community support would be Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm gonna go with No Man's Sky. I hear all those arguments, and based on that and to me kind of invalidates Baldur's Gate a little
But
bit,
like,
but
Yes.
technically it satisfies that criteria and probably then some.
And that's
well,
why it's
is
there.
it? But
Yeah.
like, even No Man's Sky isn't a 2023 game. Like,
True, but
has it
they
even
have.
had
But
anything
they've
significant happen this year? Opposed to
yes.
Yeah.
these other games that
Actually
had significant
twice.
things,
Actually
like
twice.
very
Two huge.
significant.
Yes,
And it's
very.
all free.
I'm telling you, Scott, if you look up the history of this game, this came out in 2016. Okay? This is now, how old is that? 7 years old, and there were 2 very significant updates just this year, including 3 if you want to count a version for the Switch version, completely incorporating upscaling, AI upscaling, FSR, and making the game actually look better on the Switch.
I think the biggest kicker though is also it's all been free. They are
Every
only
piece
making
has been
money
free.
on new copies of their game. So those that had their game forever are getting all these updates for free. Like I technically bought this game used and I have the free PS5 upgrade now. So for me, No Man's Sky, just because of how dramatic the updates are, combined with it being absolutely free, is my vote there. I definitely understand Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I'm going for No Man's Sky on this one. There is some bias there because I've actually played the game. So take that as you will. I've only played that game out of the others here. All right, best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy Online, Genshin Impact, Fortnite. Best ongoing game. For us personally, what we play the most, hands down, is Fortnite. I've played Genshin Impact, haven't played anything else. Fortnite does such a good job of just feeding you more and more and more content. I can't speak about the other areas though. I know Genshin Impact does a pretty good job, but they're essentially a gotcha machine. Not saying it's a bad game; it's actually pretty good. I guess just out of recency bias, it's for me got to be Fortnite
It's
because
Fortnite. It's Fortnite all the way.
I'm gonna leave this with you guys. Does Mr. Slim Shady, Marshall Matters, have a live event coming up for Genshin Impact? I don't think so.
He does not. Eminem is in Fortnite.
Check.
In Fortnite.
Check. Mate.
Are all of those other games on all platforms?
Ooh, that's another good point. Fortnite is pretty much on everything. Here's a question about Eminem being in Fortnite. Please tell me there is a mom spaghetti emote or meme or something that
At
shows
least
up.
like your palms, at least like a palm
Like some
sweaty
sweaty
emote.
palms.
Yeah,
sweaty
something.
palms, and out comes the spaghetti. That would be stupidness. All right, Buds are choosing Fortnite on this one. Games for impact. I don't know what this means, and I don't know what any of these games are, but the subject is games for impact. It said the first game is A Space for the Unbound.
Okay.
Then Chance of Sinar. Then Goodbye Volcano High. Then Tchia, spelled Tchia.
Okay.
Then
I don't care about
Terranil,
any of this.
and then Vinba.
I think this is
I have
like,
no idea.
So I don't think any of these are like this, but this is like I'm just coming up with something off the top of my head, like games that were made by deaf people, right? And it was this achievement and it impacted and like maybe or like a group of kids that were exemplary at building games developed these games and they're actually really good. I think it's like that kind of stuff. So I don't know any of these games.
Same.
I've only literally heard of Tchia because I think of Chia Pets. So I'm going to go with Tchia.
Tchia.
I've heard of Terra Nil, so I'll guess I'll just vote on that one. But yeah, this one I really don't understand the context. I think what Mike said makes sense, so that probably
Yeah, they had like some kind of impact on more than just the game industry.
Which great. I'm glad it's being called out. wish I knew what these games were, and it makes me feel bad. All right, we'll move on from that one. Innovation and accessibility.
Okay.
Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6.
I
Now,
don't understand the question.
innovation and accessibility is essentially settings that you can tweak to customize the game to
like
everyone and their
color,
needs.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually chatted about this one a couple weeks ago with a friend, and he said he thinks it should be Diablo because of the sheer amount of variances that you can do in all the settings for this game. Just pretty much makes the game open for everybody. Was his stance. Diablo's the only one that I've played out of this group, so I can't even speak to the accessibility of the others. Hi-Fi Rush, I know initially, like if you play the game to the beat of music, you do better. But I think they have a mode where you can like, hey, you can just turn it into a hack and slash if you can't keep a beat or whatever. So maybe that's kind of what they're talking about. I don't really have a dog in this fight other than I have a friend that says Diablo 4.
This way, Diablo, I fiddled around with those settings to talk about, like, hey, let's look at this. And I instantly like, nope, I'm not going to spend the next 2 hours of my life going through
There's a
all
lot
these.
there. Surprisingly, I think Forza Motorsport should do it. In fact, the last couple Forza games, Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon 5, like there were even, I think it was Forza Horizon 5. I don't know if Forza Motorsport does it. If I remember correctly, there was even one where there was an option where there would be a person signing to you in the corner.
Really?
Yeah, like surprisingly, there's so much, like you can be like, hey, you could change the difficulty. You literally pick where you want to start a race. So if you go to the back, you get more experience and credits and whatever, but you can literally start at the pole position if you want to. And you can slow things down literally to like, if the game is moving too fast, you could do like 25% speed. So you're literally racing the game at 25% speed. If it like, there's so much there that I was like, kind of like Scott with Diablo, where I was like, I don't want to look at all this. I'm good. There's a lot there.
So would Forza be your vote then?
I feel like Diablo's probably going to win because racing games instantly get hate at all these things, which is another reason why these things are just a farce. But I think Diablo 4 is going to win it.
Okay.
Because I heard that's really good too.
I'm glad that you shared the Forza stuff because I didn't know anything about that. So it's nice to get some more context on more games. I'm going to be the wild card. You guys are probably saying Diablo. My friend says Diablo. Why not? Mike, you convinced me. Forza.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Forza on that one. All right, next is best performance. So this is gonna be like voice, motion capture, things like that.
Oh.
For Final Fantasy, Ben Starr. For Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that's the lead. We have Cameron Monaghan. For the newest Cyberpunk update, we have Idris Elba, who's the most known, of course. For Alan Wake 2, we have Melanie Liburd. For Baldur's Gate 3, we have Neil Newbon. And Marvel Spider-Man 2, Yuri Lowenthal, who I think was actually Peter Parker. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I was thinking of a character in the game named Yuri, and I was like, what? Why did they go with that character?
Yeah, because there is a Yuri in that game.
Yeah, but that confused me. But yes, that would be Peter Parker's actor.
For me, I'm going to have to go with my boo, Elba.
Elba, just because you like Elba. I mean, he's a good actor, but
I love Elba, but I am so against anything cyberpunk related. I can't do that.
I think the winner is going to either be Cameron Monaghan from Star Wars because he carried that entire game, or Yuri from Spider-Man 2. I think they're going to give it. I think Cameron's going to get it. I'm just going to say that one, Cameron. Idris Elba.
I've seen
chance just by name.
I've seen a lot of very recent buzz, and the stuff that I've seen, I haven't watched much because I don't want to spoil myself, about Alan Wake 2, specifically the performances and the story beats and like how it paces. And a lot of people are saying a lot of good things about it. So I'm going to go with Alan Wake 2.
Okay. So
I think that might be a dark horse in this whole thing.
Yeah, I like it. I think Idris wins because I think a lot of this is fan voting and people are like, I know him.
That's true.
All right, best audio design. You're going to like this one, Mike. Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay.
Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Resident Evil 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Dead Space.
Dead Space. Dead Space. Dead Space. It's Dead Space, guys.
I'd save that for last for Mike. I'm just gonna go with Dead Space. I know Hi-Fi Rush had some cool stuff, Alan Wake as well, but Dead Space, the whole bit was like most of that game is how they set up the audio.
If Dead Space remake is just a fraction as good as the sound design in Dead Space original, then yeah, it has to be. I don't even have to play the other games. It has to be Dead Space.
Sick. All right.
Dead Space. Bud's approval. Dead Space.
Dead Space. Bud Space. Best score and music. Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
Baldur's Gate 3. Final Fantasy XVI, whichever one that is. I don't know. Is that 16? Hi-Fi Rush. Legend of Zelda.
That's a really tough one because I know Baldur's Gate 3 has really good stuff, even though I haven't played it. I've heard good things about Alan Wake 2. The two that I have played, Hi-Fi Rush and Tears of the Kingdom, they're both top tier, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
Well, here's my problem with Hi-Fi Rush from the little I played of it, is I always think it's kind of a cop-out, games that use licensed songs getting in categories like this. It's like you didn't make the music, you just had good taste.
But they also have a mode. They also have a mode that you enable that turns off all licensed music so you can stream it. And the unlicensed music is still really, really good. It's still really, really good.
But you know that it got on this list not because of the unlicensed music. It was because of the licensed music that they were invited to the
the only reason I'm going to say Tears of the Kingdom over Hi-Fi Rush is actually kind of along what you're saying. It's that the music is the gameplay, which is a little bit different. Like for this category, it's kind of muddying the water a little bit there for me. Because it is literally the game. Like that is the game. Like that's the whole point of it, right? And like you said, the licensed music is definitely the star. For sure. It is the star. I would probably say Tears of the Kingdom, especially, dude, that last segment. Matt, you got to go back and play that last segment and be like, okay, that was really good. That was really good. That whole, the music, I'm like getting goosebumps. Like the music and the visual, it's really good. And plus, there's so many other things too, the remixes and stuff in Tears of the Kingdom for the nostalgia people. So I think Baldur's Gate 3 might win, but I want Tears of the Kingdom to win it.
What about you, Scott?
I want Tears. I'm basically same as Mike. I want Tears of the Kingdom to win, but Baldur's Gate is probably going to be the sweeper for the awards. As much
I've only played 2 of them, but I'll follow the buzz of this one. We'll go with Zelda. They got some good score going. Best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom. Best art direction.
I would say Hi-Fi Rush because again, I wasn't really vibing with that game, but I can't deny that like this game has a cool aesthetic.
Got the style.
This is a really rough one too. Tears of the Kingdom, I love it, but it's just more Breath of the Wild, so it's not new. Hi-Fi Rush visually, and especially Scott, if you actually go back and play that and see the stuff they do later on, it is delightful. It is so good to just look at. I'd say Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, the only games I played out of here are Tears of the Kingdom and Lies of P. And I like Lies of P, but it's a lot of the same. It's good, but it's a lot of the same. I would not even put Mario Bros. Wonder on this. It's a side scroller, so it's hard to put it there. I've seen a lot of Alan Wake 2, and they had some really cool set pieces in transition. But Hi-Fi Rush just looks so stylish. I like that you guys are saying that. So we'll go with Hi-Fi Rush for that one. Best narrative. And we're almost done. We have about 4 more categories. Best narrative: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty specifically, Final Fantasy 16, Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Best narrative. I can't do Marvel Spider-Man 2. If, like Scott has said, if it was all like the second half, it would blow all of them out of the water. It is not. It is a tale of 2 different story games.
I did really enjoy Final Fantasy 16, but I don't think it's going to win. And honestly, if I ever had the patience to play a game like Baldur's Gate, I feel Baldur's Gate is going to win because not only does it have its narrative, it has a narrative that you guide massively. Yeah. So I'm thinking Baldur's Gate does take this one. What do you think, Scott?
I mean, like I said, I think Baldur's Gate is going to be the sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Baldur's Gate.
All
I'm
right, fair
I'm gonna
enough.
be so I think Baldur's Gate's gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that person, even though I haven't played it. But I feel like it's gonna be a tighter actual narrative, like the category of the best narration, right? Like not you get to
Mm,
guide it, because then why would Tears of the Kingdom wouldn't be, or Spider-Man is a narrative, right?
right.
Whether you like it or not, you follow the story. That's why it's not an RPG as well. Baldur's Gate has a narrative, sure, but like you said, it's very driven by you, the player.
You.
So is
All
that
right.
really like that's tough, right? I'm gonna go with Alan Wake too.
I I get that. I respect that, and I think it has a shot at winning just for what you laid out there. That it's a very, very, very linear, tried and true narrative, but it is their crafted narrative
Kind
versus
kind of like
several.
Ragnarok, right? Like why God of
Yeah,
War Ragnarok, why we like it so much.
yeah. All right, I respect that. Best adaptation. So we're talking movies and TV shows here.
Okay.
Best adaptation. We have Castlevania Nocturne,
Ooh.
Gran Turismo, the Super Mario Bros. Movie,
Okay.
Twisted Metal, and what I think is going to be the clear winner, The Last of Us.
That's You guys have still not watched it. You need to watch it.
No, but I
Both of
I
you
mean,
know.
both of you
I
need to watch it. You
I'm
need to
going.
watch it.
I'm just going off what I've heard from people I have a lot of respect for. 4 of those are like diarrhea in visual form, and then Last of Us. So I'm gonna go with Last of Us.
So I've seen a decent amount of Twisted Metal. It is fun. No, it's not going to
It's
win.
fun. That's
It's
that's where it
fun.
stops.
Gran Turismo, not my cup of tea. Castlevania, I like some of the earlier Netflix stuff. I haven't watched it at all recently. Haven't seen Last of Us, but I've heard nothing but good things about it and amazing things about it. I think it's going to win, and this is going to piss some people off. I hated the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was a garbage film. So there you go.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, I can understand not liking
Garbage
it, but garbage? Ooh,
film.
that's a bit much, man.
All right, correct. So, all right, we're going with The Last of Us.
It is The Last of Us.
Yeah, best game direction. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom.
I
It's
want Tears of the Kingdom. I like anything Baldur's Gate is in. It is the it game, and
I
I think
think
it's gonna take it.
I actually think Tears of the Kingdom, just for the fact of how massive the game really is, with how much free range it gives you, while maintaining its purpose, I would say.
so let's see how much of a farce the award show is, okay?
Yeah.
I obviously know nothing about this. I think so. I want Tears of the Kingdom to win this. I
Mhm.
think Baldur's Gate 3 wins this, and I think Tears of the Kingdom wins Game of the Year once we get to that
Interesting.
category. Because they
Okay.
don't want I feel like they've gotten a lot of flack in the past for like, why did this sweep? Why did this like every year it's always a sweep, right?
Mhm.
I think for diversity's sake, why they did through Final Fantasy 16 and Lies of P and RPGs, they don't want to overstack. I think Baldur's Gate 3 wins this. I want Tears of the Kingdom to win this.
Okay. I think Tears of the Kingdom takes this one, but the sweep is real. We'll find out. Oh, my my thing just crashed on me. Hang on. There we go. Pulled it up. Let's look at we're actually at the final category. You guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Game of the year. We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to immediately remove Mario Bros. Wonder from the list. No.
You could probably
No.
remove Resident Evil 4 from the list too.
I am very
I mean, I
surprised
like that
Resident
game a
Evil
lot.
4 made this. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is a bad game, but knowing the type of people who put together these lists, the
Yeah.
fact that
And
they would put Resident Evil 4 on here is very surprising to me.
and I also want to point out another reason why this whole thing is just a shit show. Why is Forza Motorsport was extremely well rated, reviewed. Like if you look at its scores, if you're one of those people, extremely well reviewed. That is not a remake. It is a brand new game. Why did that not make it, and RE4 did a remake? As much as I
Yeah,
love RE4 remake,
that brings the question.
it's a racing game. That's why.
Well, that, yes. And it begs another question. One, I agree with you. Racing games always get shorted, even though I don't really like racing games, but I get it, right? Should a remake even be in consideration for a game like this? It sounds like most people are like, no. It is my game of 2023. It is my favorite game that I've played of 2023, but should it be game of the year when it's essentially took something that was great already and just expanded upon it? Based on that, I
But
do personally think it should be eliminated.
by that logic, though, should you eliminate Tears of the Kingdom? Because it
T-
just built upon another great game.
But the
Well,
but they
In a
but
way,
it's not.
like even more less effort way than Resident. At least Resident Evil 4 had like a 10-year gap between games, and they had to go and like I guarantee you there was probably more work put into making Resident Evil 4 remake than there was put into making Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't know if I believe
100%
that one.
disagree because they added, whether you liked them or not, they added how many brand new mechanics to the game that were literally, some of them were debugs, like our
But the
favorite
game,
Ascend.
like literally, the gameplay engine is the same. They
Gameplay
add a
engine
new.
is the
They add
same.
engine is huge. Like the engine, that's the huge thing.
So
Adding
okay,
all of
so if
those
you want to go that,
mechanics
if you
is
want to go
bells
that
and
route,
whistles.
Capcom has used the RE engine for various years now. So that's not a new engine.
And
But
Spider-Man
they
2
also
used the
had to,
same
but they
engine
also
too,
had to
right?
make new assets. for
Spider-Man 2 is
Resident
the
Evil
same
4.
engine too. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is
They-
the same engine too.
Like
And that's a
I
brand new game.
I'm not arguing, but Spider-Man 2 game of the year.
I get that argument, but Zelda, I think they reused a lot of assets. A lot of games do. The combat is like 0% changed for the most part. I definitely understand that argument, but I think it's not a good comparison versus Resident Evil, which basically said, yes, we rebuilt everything and redid everything. They still followed pretty much copy and paste as far as design goes in a lot of areas, a lot of story element and things like that as well. So I by default say Resident Evil shouldn't be there. Mario Wonder's not going to win it. You guys do enjoy Spider-Man overall, but it was inconsistent in bits, so that probably drops, which gives us Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate, and Zelda. And Alan Wake 2 was a pretty cool looking game, but a very linear game. I can't see Wake 2 winning this. I can't
I'm really
see it.
surprised. Like I've heard good things about Alan Wake, but I feel like it's had a lot more stronger presence in the categories than I would have thought it would have.
Yeah.
Well, because it just came out very recently, and people were kind of blown away. They weren't expecting much, and they were like, "Whoa, this is really
Yeah.
good." And Scott, if you played Control, you would probably understand why both Matt and I are like. I mean, I'm an Alan Wake fan too, but like after Control, I'm like, I'm 100% into this now. Like they have just refined their storytelling and visual presentation, not just graphics. I'm talking visual presentation. So
it was a
good.
feat, but I don't. And Alan Wake was good. I don't think it wins. So I think it really is truly between Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I truly do think Baldur's Gate is going to take it. That is what I think is going to happen. I won't be mad if I see Tears of the Kingdom take it as well. But back to Scott's argument, the reused assets, and basically it is a much, much, much beefier version than Breath of the Wild. So I think that kind of has it going against it in this
But
specific
Baldur's Gate
category.
3 has been in early access for 4 years.
Exactly. So it's basically a long-term early access versus a long-term core base game that they dramatically expanded upon.
Idea. Since it's pretty well established, both of them are dirty, filthy cheaters. I say they just go and throw Scott Stevens Game of the Year for 2023 Dredge in the mix and give it to that
All
one.
right.
Everybody's happy.
They're
especially
on the stage. They pull out the thing, and the winner is Legend of Dredge. And it's like Cran. Someone wrote it in Cran. It's you in the background with like an evil mustache and top hat, laughing like, "Ha gotcha!"
And I fly off on my blimp,
and you land on your little dredge boat. Realistically, I think Baldur's Gate takes it in this category.
I'll say Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I'm kind of you. Like, if it's one of those two, I'm not gonna be mad anyway. But like, it's like, okay, I get it for both of those.
I think it's gonna be Baldur's Gate, but I'm gonna be kind of upset if it is. Like, I'll understand how I got it, but I still won't like it just because I feel like granted, like I know I'm going back and forth saying all like, oh well, Tears of the Kingdom reused a bunch of assets from Breath of the Wild. With that said, it did some pretty revolutionary things, and like there's actual like video game developers or like the mechanics, like the physics that they were able to create in this game. We don't know how they did it. This is next level stuff.
And some were upset too. They were like, "Why did you do this? Because we don't know how to do this."
There's like so many design philosophies and things that game just kind of revolutionized, and just the actual developers out there, it blew their mind. So, and the fact is, such a revolutionary game like that came out this year, and then something like Baldur's Gate 3 can go and beat it, I think is kind of ridiculous. And I don't know, maybe we're gonna have a segment later in this about like what we feel about award shows in general. But I do feel like it's kind of, and it's a balance, right? You have like the Oscars, which is a bunch of pretentious old farts who just go for the artsy film, that nobody actually watches. Like, honestly, both of you guys, like, tell me the last
Dude,
movie of the year that you've watched.
I remember
Probably No
the
Country
one
for
year
Old Men.
Parasite swept the awards, and then I watched that movie and I went, "This wasn't good. Why did this win?"
Yeah.
Ooh.
Both
So
Chelsea and I watched and we were like, "What?"
So you have the pretentious, like totally disconnected from like the people, but then you got like the Nickelodeon Choice Awards of like, I don't think we will. Yeah, it's just like
John Cena awards.
Who gets
yeah,
blue?
it's just like the dumb people voting for the dumb things and the dumb things winning the awards that has the most dumb people behind it. And I'm sorry anybody out there who really loves Baldur's Gate 3, but I feel like right now we're a little bit in the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Award camp with that game, where it's popular, people talk about it, but I think it's a little bit of a dumb popularity. That's my hot take. And you said this is viewers' choice. Like,
I know you get a vote because I got to connect my Twitch or my Google profile or something to it, and I got to vote. So I think it is viewer voted.
then it's going to be Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Because you're a bunch of sheep.
Listen, I actually do truly think Baldur's Gate does deserve it. That game is a feat. I won't argue if it's better than Zelda at this point. I think it's really hard to kind of say objectively, other than both games are extremely good. They have done amazing things, and the developers around the world were massively impressed by both games, respectively. I do think Baldur's Gate takes it though. But hey, that's been fun. We're gonna wrap things up here, guys. We decided to run through the Game Award categories. A lot of the games we don't even know a lot about, and then some of the categories we're just like, what? What is that? I don't know what that is. Hopefully you enjoyed us kind of diving into that. And this will be airing the week of the Game Awards. So it'll drop. Game Awards will happen a few days later, and then we'll find out how wrong we were. But that was a fun discussion. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. I do hope that if you have strong opinions, you let us know. You don't have to let us know about every category, but anything in particular jump out to you that's in the categories here? Anything with us you disagree? We'd love to know. Drop it in the comments, our Twitch, our Discords, whatever it is. We definitely do look at the YouTube comments. If you drop something there, we'll take a look there. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed these conversations where we just kind of don't have a nice structure. We just like go into something and chat.
And I want to remind, this is for you, the viewer, listener, whoever. Like what you like. That's why we have, spoilers, a whole other episode of the games that we, the Buds, liked for 2023. Some of which were not even part of the big awards here, okay? Like what you like. These are all of people's opinions. A lot of them are a farce anyway. It's just people smelling their own farts. Why don't you smell your own farts and have a good time? That's what I say. In the words of Fat Bastard, everyone likes their own brand.
And you know what else everyone likes? You know what else everyone likes? The Buds Busting Balls. And you can physically show that like by hitting the like button on the YouTubes, giving us reviews on whatever podcast platforms you listen to. Just let us know. You should check us out. Bauer Tendo streams on Twitch Mondays and Tuesdays. I am celiac_Matt on Twitch Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. Scott one day will stream. You should love him anyways. He hangs out in our Discord. So if you ever want to chat at Scott, hit up our Discords. Mike and I have our own Discords, and Scott will show up if you tag him to tell him he's wrong about something. He'll show up and let you know. But we've been really enjoying this. We hope you guys have as well. The easiest way you guys can support this, just like it. just like it. Give us some views. And yeah, we're not above pandering. You should share it with your friends. Even if they don't listen to it, have them put it on, man. And like us very, very much. So like us. We like you.
I heard you had a question. So many questions. Why don't you ask your question, and the Buds will bust an answer for you.
All right, viewer question. I'm going to just run with this one. The question that I have taken was submitted by definitely not Cube. It was someone by the name of Wing, who is definitely not Cube. He asked the question for me. Hello, celiac_Matthew. That's what he calls me. We're in a very personal relationship there. I have a question for you. I have some celiac friends and family. When having them over, what are the types of food to avoid gluten-free versions of, and what food that isn't already gluten-free transitions the best to gluten-free? Prepackaged stuff, of course, since cross-contamination in our kitchen. For those that don't know, I do have celiac disease.
No
I
shit.
can't eat, I know, I can't eat gluten. You would think people know what that means. Many don't. I'll be like, oh, I have celiac disease. And they just look at me like, what? It means I can't eat gluten. Not
Matt,
and
you're like a CrossFit person. Everybody knows you have celiacs. Everybody
I
knows
have
you
made it
CrossFit,
my entire
and you
brand.
made everybody know that you have celiacs.
It is my brand on the
I'm-
internet.
I'm
You are Chris
sorry,
Traeger
I'll
telling
start- I
everybody
will-
that you go to therapy 30 times a week.
This
I'll
this
stop.
is deliberate. I have done it on purpose. My old Twitch username was something very long. I'm like, I need to brand myself as something. What's my identity at this point? I can't eat bread. Celiac Matt it is, and I now shout that to the rooftops. Anywho, to address your question, I think if you have people that have celiac that are coming over to eat specifically, there does need to be more ownership on the individual with the allergy or disease. Because if they really shouldn't show up and expect people to cater to them. And if you have celiac, it's a lot more dangerous than just like an intolerance or an allergy. Meaning, if I go to someone else's kitchen and say, hey, I cooked this gluten-free pasta, but they cooked it in a pot where they cook regular pasta, that is called cross-contamination, and it will still hurt me very badly. So if you have celiac, it is, in my opinion, on you to prepare them for you or just get food ahead of time, which is always my preference. That being said, the safest way to make food for celiac people is crock pots with liners in the crock pot. And the foods and the stuff that you put in there, make sure it is either deliberately kept away from gluten items, deliberately marked as gluten-free, and the utensils that you use also need to be untouched by the gluten or plastic one-use things. So crock-pot cooking with a liner is the best way to prepare for people with the celiac disease. As far as the best food to get, I found anything with cauliflower breading to be better than stuff that's just like, hey, this is gluten-free. Like gluten-free pasta, awful, terrible. I hate it. The best gluten-free pasta is the stuff that's infused with other things like chickpeas. Chickpeas make a pretty solid pasta. So there's gluten-free flour. Don't use it. It's terrible. Use alternative flours like arrowroot flour. And cauliflower is a really good breading substitute. So there's like cauliflower breaded like chicken tenders and things that I will live off of on occasion. That is really my direct answer is crock pot cooking with utensils that have never touched the gluten, or prepackaged things that are specifically marked as gluten-free that can be cooked in their own packaging in like an oven or a microwave. That is the best way to feed the celiac people. And also get some gluten-free Oreos. They are delicious. They are absolutely delicious, and they taste exactly like regular Oreos. I don't think I addressed your question fully, but for the sake of time, that's what you get. We can chat more in my Discord. That was the viewer question, which, by the way, anyone watching can submit a viewer question to us. We have in all of our announcements,
About
podcasts,
anything.
YouTube, about anything.
Like
There's
this.
a form. You can submit any question, and we will answer it. Well, we will pick if we like the question, but give us some questions. We will love to answer it. Now that I've addressed the viewer question, it is time to put Scott on the spot with a question of my own. Scott, do you have a rant for us today?
Do I have a rant for you? Oh, come on, guys.
Rant away.
Look over there, he just doesn't care. He's going off on a crowd of people, throwing words in the air like he just don't care. He's yelling at all of us sheeple. It's a Scotty Border Body rant. It's a Scotty Border Body rant. It's a Scotty Border Body rant. It's rant time.
You know what really grinds my gears, potty maniacs? VR. Stupid freaking VR. I want to go and tell you guys something. I really hope when you're going with your VR, just you know how to get you to stop? Have somebody videotape you and play back a video of how much of a fucking dork you look like. Do you have no self-respect? Not a shred of dignity. You know when I hear when somebody says, "Yeah, I got a new VR set," it's like, well, this guy went and has way too much money, dropping $1,000 on all that useless technology bullshit. But Scott, it's the way of the future. Yeah, I'm still waiting on 3D TVs to really kick off. Because that was the way of the future too, huh, buddy? Gaming wise. But yeah, you know what? You enjoy your early adoption of your $1,000 VR setups and your controllers and your Daft Punk weird bullshit. I'm just gonna be here on my own stupid dumb controller, like people have been playing video games for the last 40 years. But that's obviously a going ass style soon. Thank you. God bless the United States of America.
Fantastic. I've actually played VR a few times at friend's house. Have you guys used any VR before?
I have. Yeah.
I'm not big on looking like more of a jackass than I make myself look like already.
You got enough of that. You're not willing to go.
You're already at level.
I will consciously cut out more opportunities to look like an asshole while doing things.
I will say this. I won't say it like Fortnite, but there's a VR game called Beat Saber that is 100%.
It's like the only VR game that's worth it, and maybe
it's
Resident
really
Evil
cool.
4.
Yeah, the Resident Evil 4 looks pretty neat. Borderlands 2 has a VR that looks pretty interesting, but it costs too much money, and most of the games look like booty. I'm not as opposed to it as Scott is, but I think there could be some cool stuff. Anywho, God bless America, Scott. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, that's it. We're done. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. We'll be back next week for more sweet, delicious, bud-busting action. I want to kiss the camera to send you all goodbye. Bye.